Lorraine.
Yes.
And Irene.
Yes.
Hello. Happy Monday.
Happy
Same
Monday to you too.
So the reason why we want to do this today is because, you know, the two of you have had some, I think nothing short, as far as I'm concerned, of having your life transformed, because there's a lot of things that I've seen you guys going through since you've been to our office. And I want you guys to just share a little bit of your story of when you first came in. Both of you came in for chiropractic initially, right?
That's correct.
So let's start with you to tell me what was your story. What kind of problem did you have when you first came in?
I have to go back to 2005, and I had so much pain, nerve pain in my chest, on my chest, where I couldn't even touch my chest, and I could not, and a lot of back pain. But the thing was is that I didn't want to go on medication, pain medication, and I grew up. My family didn't believe in medicine. And I didn't, and that with all the side effects with pain medication and all that, my doctor was saying that, well, I have back pain or whatever, and my doctor said, well, just take Motrin. I said, Motrin for the rest of your life? And I thought, I asked somebody, do you know of somebody that is a good chiropractor? And they gave me the name, it was Linda Rassel. And so I thought, I'm gonna go there and see if I can be cured, or can I get rid of this pain, you know? And
That didn't make sense to you, take drugs for the rest of your life for your pain, right?
what's that?
That did not make sense
No.
to you.
Yeah, and with the exactly. And so then I went for the appointment, and then of course I had evaluation, went through this process, x-rays and all. And I remember the receptionist told me, she says, you'll be amazed how you'll feel after you get your chiropractic the program, you know.
Yeah.
And I says, that's hard to believe, but I'm gonna go through with this. And so I went through it. It was 3 times a week, and then twice a week, and I was amazed that the nerve pain went away. You know, it was like, really, that made me a believer, you know. So, and then of course taking care of her dad, so you know, I was just only going once a month, but then I wanted someplace closer to come to, you know, because I live in this area. And so we were shocked that there was a
chiropractor here.
Right here.
And you just found us.
Yeah.
Well, so before we go any further, let's ask your sister's story with chiropractic, because there is more to this story, but you know, I don't want to, you know, our viewers to see all, to hear all of it, you know, right away. Go ahead, Irene. What is your story?
Well, excuse me.
Tell me what happened when you came to your office. What kind of problem did you have?
Well, I had a low hip pain working in my yard, and so it was that aggravating pain. But because I had been to the chiropractic before, that I knew I could get instant relief. Because I didn't want to be on, you know, muscle relaxant and on pain medicine, because you know I was thinking that your spine is like a tree. If it's out of a line, you're still going to be having pain, but the pain medicine just covers it. I want to correct the problem. So it was for my hip pain that I was having, and then, you know, the pain was taken care of. And then after talking to the people in the office, and then there was more than just straightening your spine, that there's nutrition that's involved, and then the inflammation process. What is causing the inflammation process? And when I realized that, when they told me that, you know, it's foods that can cause the inflammation, you can correct the problem, but if you don't correct your nutrition, you're going to have that inflammation, and you're going to have the same problem over and over and over again. So then that was like, the information that they gave us, then it was like, oh, God, that makes sense, you know. And then I was taught, there was a lady that was next to me on the table there, and I was amazed at how good she looked, you know, like her skin looked so healthy, and that even, you know, her mind and everything, and then she was telling me about this nutrition that she was taking, this nutrition testing, and then they test you with what foods is agreeable for you, because what might be agreeable for her might not be agreeable for me. And being twins, you would think it'd be the same, right? It's like, Lorraine, you go and then I'll find out the information from you. Found out we're completely different, that we don't even, what she can have, I can't have. And so that was really amazing when I found out that foods has so much to do with your overall health, not just because straightening your spine, but you need to continue it with the other. It's the whole circle that is involved in the healing process. And once you get everything in a line, and then with your diet, and then they had said, you know, the food supplements that you take. You know, here I was thinking, oh God, I don't want to take pills, but you know, they're not pills, it's not medication, it's food supplements, because there's certain foods, you can't get it in regular foods because the way how our food is manufactured. Now and then you have to stop and think, how are they manufacturing our foods? All the chemicals that is put into the fertilizer now is growing into the plant, and now you're consuming it. And then you wonder why we have so much.
How do you know all of this, Irene? Tell me.
It was through your office, doctor, that with the nutritional testing, I'm not good.
The nutrition response testing.
Yeah, nutrition response testing is that where I learned what foods was good, and that, you know, you come in and then you get tested, and then they give you the supplements that's needed, and then they recheck you again, and it's a continuous process. It just doesn't end right there, because you know, you might be okay for a couple months, but then all of a sudden now you have you might not need that because now your body has stabilized, but it's something else. So it's a continuous process. It just doesn't end.
I like to say that health is not a destination, it's a journey.
Exactly, yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Oh, I truly agree with that.
You know, I'm listening to you now. I think our next class, you're going to do it for me.
Oh, no.
Lorraine, tell us about some of the great wins that you've had. You've had some great wins chiropractically, obviously. You just told us that. But you've also had some great wins nutritionally that, you know, you realize just about the same time as your sister. Number one is there's things that was okay for her, was not okay for you. And tell us a little bit about that, about your experience that you've had with nutritional testing, and what you've experienced and how your health has changed.
Well, after going through the nutrition testing, then you had this detox program.
Yeah, the 21-day purification program, yeah.
And when, of course, you know, with the nutrition testing, I mean, in finding the foods, what I could eat and what I could not eat, my health improved greatly. You know, it was just like the sun is shining. It's bright, very alert, you know. And then the power, I could not get motivated, just lazy, groggy, you know. And I noticed with the foods that I could not eat, and then with the food supplements, and then so I thought in January we started with our, we had this detox program.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, you know, I'll do that. And one of your employees, he was going to go through the detox program also. He said, and this was really caught my eye, you know, or
caught your attention.
my thought, huh?
It caught your attention.
Caught my attention, right? When he said that, you know, my weakest point is I can eat a whole cake pan of a whole cake, you know. He said he always craved for that sugar, you know. And I thought, you know, and I've been smoking, you know, and of course I've quit on and off, you know, but I really wanted to quit, you know, and so.
So you decided you would do a cleanse from with food, and you would do a cleanse from cigarette at the same time.
Yes, and I thought maybe it'll clear my addiction, you know, as to what Rob had said with his cake thing, you know.
Yeah.
And so, and you know, so when I went through the detox program, I was just totally shocked that I felt good, you know. I didn't have a cigarette, you know, because I wanted to quit, you know. And then I wasn't cranky. I wasn't irritable, you know. It was like I forgot, you know. I mean, and so it helped me cleanse.
So how many months have you been off the smoking business?
Well, since January, second week in January.
So almost 4 months now.
4 months, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for the detox, you know. But that urge, you know, it's gone, you know, so I was really happy about that.
So one thing that if somebody would be listening right now or watching this, right, I just want to keep this short, you know, in just in a few words. What would you like to tell them, right? If those people are sick and suffering or they have problems that they might not think that there's an answer for, what would be your word of advice? Based on what you've learned since you've been, well, number one is, how long have you been coming here now? Over, has it been a few years?
No,
Well,
just
to this
last-
place here since April.
Okay, since
Last
April, so it's just
so-
about a year,
so
right,
a
for
year.
both of you?
I was a month later.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah,
So
about
tell
a
me,
year.
so if somebody would be watching and, you know, what would you like to say to them?
Well, first I would say, if what is working for you, if it's working for you, fine, you feel great, if you feel wonderful, great. But if you still not feeling good and you have, like say, you feel tired all the time, or my mind feels so foggy, I can't get motivated, I don't feel healthy, then have an open mind and then just look at other alternatives. And the thing is, look into chiropractic care, look into this nutrition response testing, that there might be something that they'll be able to help you. Because I was surprised that, as being a former retired nurse now, I thought I knew, but you know, I was just amazed that what I didn't know. And I learned so much more, and like they say, knowledge is your best friend, and the more information you can get, I mean, just give them a try, because you know, you might be amazed at how well you feel, how good you feel, and that it just changes your whole life. I mean, I'm just astounded by what I've learned. And then they have the seminars that they will give, and you know, you think, oh, I know this stuff, and then when you come and then you listen, it's like, oh my God, I never realized that it was in that aspect. I would have never associated it with it, you know. But now knowing this, it's like I want to learn more and try to get as much information, because I want to live healthy, and I don't want to be on medications, and then I don't want to die soon. I want to, if I'm going to die, I want to die healthy and enjoying it right to the very last minute.
That's right. Well, you know what I like to say to people is, you know, your health is, or your sickness, you know, I should say, it's sometimes it's full of blind spots, right? So there's things that we don't know what we don't know. And one of our goals of this office is people don't get the results that they get. It's not because of us, the doctors, it's because the principle that we believe in, right? We believe into teaching people about health and wellness.
That's true.
So that's the reason why I do what I do.
And the most important thing, though, is that the person that themselves have to do the footwork. You know, you can be given all this information, but if you don't do the work, then there's not going to be any change. And it's not going to happen overnight, because the problem didn't come overnight. It came over after how many years? You know, actually 60-some years, because from the day that you're born, you're already screwed up.
That's
But
right,
the
you have to
thing is-
engage, right?
Yeah, so the thing is, it's a process, and you know, it's like I said, it's not going to happen overnight. That it takes time, and then when you give it time, then you know, you'll see the
The
change.
body can heal. Lorraine, what would you say to the people that are watching this here? Tell me. What would be one word of wisdom that you would like to share with them?
I like to say that what I've learned was what you thought, you thought healthy foods was not healthy for you. You know, I mean, like you would think dairy products is very healthy for you, like yogurt.
Yep.
But you know, it's not. That's not one of your healthy foods. Or like, but you know, in the sugars, how much damage sugar can do to your body, and then even grains, wheat, and whatever, you know, that. But knowing, finding the right foods for you that is good for your system. And another thing too is what I learned was I was really totally shocked that in one of your books or whatever, I couldn't believe, like 40 years ago, a cup of spinach, today to eat a cup of spinach, you have to eat like 24 cups of spinach to equal to the nutrition what was back years ago because of our environment and all that type of stuff.
That's right.
And with these food supplements and their natural foods, it's just like vitamin A, you know. True, you can, to get vitamin A, carrots have a lot of vitamin A, but there's a lot of different components in that vitamin A in that natural carrot. But you have a vitamin A made chemically, you wouldn't get all the properties of the natural food vitamin A.
You two are just just amazing. Our next workshop, you're going to be in charge of it. I just want to say thank you to both of you for doing this today for our viewers. Thank you.
Well, I'd
Thank
like to
you.
thank you for our good health. I mean, the energy level now and the brightness.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I'm happy
thank
for both of
you
you.
for introducing to us this, to have good health.
That's my pleasure. Thank you for doing this.
Well,
That's
thank you
awesome.
very much.